Hi guys, it's Michelle Patterson here with Angel Souls, and this is your weekly reading for January 30th, 2017. For this week, I'm going to take a different approach. I want to use the Crystal cards by Rochelle Sharman for most of the reading, and then I'll pull maybe a card or two from the Archangel Oracle deck by Doreen Virtue. So if you would like to get a personal reading with me, please understand that these readings go very deep, okay? So if you're really looking to do some deep clearing work, I'm talking like if you come to me and you say, Michelle, when am I going to get that job? I can pretty much guarantee you they're not going to answer you. Okay? We're going to look at why do you believe you can't have what you want? We're going to look at where the blocks are that might be blocking you from your goals. And, you know, there could be a lot of different things that come up for everybody. You know what I mean? It's all different. But if you're ready to do that level of work, sign up for a personal reading. Go to my website at angelsouls444.com, the services page. If you'd like to support me on Patreon, I will leave that information down below. And please don't forget about Gumroad. We have the January prosperity readings up, and I just got the February love readings up. Yay! They took forever, but I got them up. All right. So, funny things have happened over the last couple of days. And I really opened myself. I'm going to share this with you because this is important. This goes absolutely into the message that we're talking about here. And breaking patterning, okay, breaking our programming, our patterns, not just trading in one pattern and one programming system for a spiritual one, right, which is what a lot of people do. They think, oh, I found the solution to my life, so I'm just going to go over here. And then they're not open-minded to go any deeper. They really are not sitting in any sort of wisdom, right? We're going to talk about how do I say this? How negative entities might be taking advantage of us and chomping on our energy, and what we can do to remain in peace and serenity and not give in. Okay, to not be taken off course. Now, where do I even begin? The past couple of days, actually, I was guided to an episode on Gaia.com. And, you know, again, it was because I opened myself up for this and then I got guided to it. And it was all the stuff I had already known, but it was put in such a beautiful way. It was actually, oddly, Cosmic Disclosure, which I don't watch that show. Is it Cosmic Disclosure? I think it is. I think that's what it's called on there. I haven't watched an episode on there in a really long time. And then I was guided to the one about channeling. And listening to this, I'm like, yes, and we're going to talk about some of those themes here. So if you have a subscription to Gaia.com, if you don't, I think you should definitely get one. It's wonderful. And, I mean, if it resonates with you. But, yeah, go and watch that episode and you'll see what I'm talking about. And again, I'm going to share some of that here as well, because I think it's an important message to get out there. And I haven't been able to kind of like focus it. So we'll try today. Let's see if we can do that. But first I'm going to start off by just explaining something really quickly. And it's, again, a part of the whole message here. When I started Angel Souls about a little over 3 years ago, and I didn't come to this conclusion, I didn't start piecing this together until very, very recently. That's when all the trouble started. Disruptions, challenges, you know, people coming at me with death threats, fellow YouTubers starting fights with me and claiming I did things that I did not, fellow YouTubers suddenly unsubscribing from me. A whole bunch of them just went, and I'm not sure what I did or what I said, but we're going to talk about that. Just people just judging and, you know, disconnecting themselves and, you know, doing all this stuff. So it's been a real roller coaster ride. But throughout all of it, oh, did I say that that's when my sanctuary started being disrupted too. It was like somebody was rattling my home constantly. And it wasn't until I started Angel Souls that my neighbor from New York, who I'd lived under for 7 years, okay? I lived in the apartment under her for 7 years, suddenly went nuts. And she just like went crazy. And then the people next door started going crazy. And it was just bizarre. When we are trying to do good things, like genuine good things, we might not be perfect at it. We might, you know, it's a practice, right? We're all out here trying to make the best of our lives, and we're trying to make the world a better place. But sometimes we're taking the wrong approach. Okay. So the whole Angel Souls thing, that kind of, you know, really sparked me. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay, I'm getting a message on this somehow. Like, this is all correlating. Give me clarity. And that's when I got guided to this episode as a reminder that there are entities out there. There's good and there's bad, right? And there are, energies, entities, whatever you want to call them, that love negativity. It's like a big old burger for them, like they just want to eat it up. And so I'm thinking of that commercial that used to be, I shouldn't do this. Like, you guys remember that commercial? What is it? It's 3 p.m. and Robert Goulet is going to come in and mess with your stuff. That's what I feel like these these entities do. They like come in and mess with your stuff. Now, on a more serious level, if you're, and I'm about to use the term weak-minded, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I mean, like, if you're in low frequency, you're depressed, you're just feeling low, like you don't feel very strong, vulnerable, maybe I think is a better word, or, whatever, you're susceptible to that kind of energy coming in and messing with you. Yes? But Michelle, you were in the angel, angel energy all the time. How did it happen to you? Well, that's how I became a workaholic, because when I was doing my work, I was very focused. They weren't touching me. It was when, and angels are always there and they're always talking, but if you're in a low space and something else is getting louder and you kind of allow it to have your attention, which I think, having not done this professionally before, I was kind of like, what is going on over here? Why is my life falling apart? What's going on? And like most humans, I was focused on that. And the angels were always there, and I know that they were always there. But there were times that I would be so upset, or again, in that weak-minded kind of place where I was like, I do so much work, come on, angels, when is it going to happen? So getting kind of tossed around a little bit. Now, it was when I was done with my work and I went back to real life. Real life. Okay, now we're up against other programmed human beings, right? So this dude's going to try to, hit me with his car. And this lady's going to cut in front of me at the grocery store. And this person's going to call me up. And this person's going to be like this and that and the other. And you're contending with that, right? We get disconnected. And again, I was really good at transmuting and transforming and clearing my energy and coming back into focus. But it took a lot of energy. And I didn't have time for much else. All right, so the past 3.5 years, a little over 3 years, whatever it is, has been completely devoted to keeping and maintaining this energy so I could focus on this work. But it came to my attention just yesterday where I'm like, oh man, I'm a pawn in a game. Well, I didn't give permission for that. Who are these beings out here doing this stuff? I didn't tell you could do that. But even as the angels are whispering in my ear, yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Because why? Because of the programming. Yes? So as much as you're trying, we can all kind of get, fall back into the programming where, of course it's going to happen this way. Of course my camera's not going to work. Of course, the app where I can see the shot isn't going to work. Of course, negativity, right? So again, we're not encouraging people to be in denial, to pretend like things aren't happening, to not face things. No. You got to look at it and face it. But start cracking open your own code. What do you allow yourself to get susceptible to? What are some of the annoyances in your life? And where are they coming from? Are they things that you need to get annoyed at? Now, let's not do that whole catchphrase thing like, oh, don't sweat the small stuff. Hang with me here, because we're talking about something slightly different. How much of this is my emotion, and how much of this is coming from something I can't identify just now? How much of this is how I really feel about things, and how much of this is being programmed by the societal blanket thing going on? Look at how people react to things happening in the world. Oh, we don't like that this happened. Me either, okay? But I'm outside of all that realm, and I'm like, I don't like the whole thing of it. Forget it. But we're going to get up and we're going to speak out, and we're going to create this forum and this platform so that we can have a voice. And then instead of utilizing a platform to really tap in and have a beautiful message, People were, something's floating around. What is that? People would, use the platform to scream and holler and express anger and to be downright vulgar. Missed opportunities left, right, and center. Why? Because of the programming. Being aggressive works. You got to strive. You got to accomplish. Make them hear you. Anybody else sick of the game? As of yesterday, I unplugged. Doop. So if you don't like this message and you want to yell at me, okay, I unplugged. You're going to be talking to yourself, okay? I also have some protection mechanisms in place that will shoot it right back at you. So it's not about revenge. It's just about protecting myself, okay? And I encourage you guys out there to do that for you as well. Now, this isn't a message to get you into fear and be like, what entities? I'm going to get somebody like that. I know. What entities? I got a ghost on me? Just focus on being happy, okay? Because that's the thing. When we're clear, our perception changes. And I just went through this yesterday. I'm going to tell you about that because it's kind of a cool thing. I want you guys to try it for yourselves. When you unplug and you say, I do not give you permission, only beings of light may come to me and talk to me. Angels, archangels of love and light, please rid my home of anything that does not belong here. Anything that might draw me down and further away from God's source creator. Eradicate it. Please do this for my energy as well, for myself, and for my loved ones, and for the world. Thank you, we love you, and so it is. Do that. And guess what's going to happen? Things will change in your life. Okay. And I just did this as a little experiment. When I unplugged, I decided yesterday that I was going to, I do love my Netflix. I'm not going to lie. But I did decide to limit how much of that I took in. I was guided to that episode on Gaia, and it was just really, it was just profound. It was a beautiful moment, and I was like, oh, yes, that's it. I focused on what I needed for the day. I did not think too many steps ahead. I just dealt with what was happening moment to moment to moment to moment. And then when something that normally I'd be like, oh, really? I moved my I just put my Christmas tree away and realized I had a coffee stain on my rug because I thought I had cleaned that up, but there it is, and it's been sitting there for a while. I'm like, normally I would be like, now I'm gonna scrub out this stain. But I just kind of looked at it and I actually found the humor in it, and just took care of it. But I really, really get kind of focused on what am I feeling right now. Take a pulse, guys. What am I feeling right now? Does that really matter? No. Okay. So let's move on, because that's the other thing too. We get really agitated at small things because there are big yet subtle things that are just getting wired into us. And so now we're getting angry at somebody at the grocery store for nothing. People are trying to have control over you in dangerous ways. Right? So this week, clean all this away, take one step at a time. And let me go back to yesterday. I had the best day I've had in a very long time. I was cleaning my home for Chinese New Year. So it went very, very smoothly. There were little, snafus here and there, but I actually laughed at them. I was like, okay, fine. Then all of a sudden, these weird blessings started coming to me. They were little blessings, but these weird little things would happen. I would hear from people that I hadn't heard from in a while, and they had these loving messages for me. Property management, who I have historically not gotten along with very well, because of things happening around here, and they at first they weren't doing anything with it. They emailed me and said, "Oh, you have a package here." Thank you. Wow, thank you. And I went down to go get my package. Here was a package that I thought was lost and I had given up on. And there it was. We got a notice on our door about something kind of cool that's happening around the apartment complex. My neighbor upstairs was really quiet for most of the day. Really quiet and respectful. And there were just all these beautiful little things kind of occurring, right? Little things. Just, I felt like they were little reminders, see? And aren't you feeling joy today? Things can work out, okay? We don't need to control them. Ask yourself, be self-aware. Where's the programming? What am I giving into? What are your, look at your habits. Again, how much TV do you watch? What do you get mad about? Who do you take it out on? What is important to you, right? How often do you criticize? I'm guilty of that. Sorry, guys, I'm going to edit that out. There's some things going on, so I'm just going to edit that part out. But what I was saying is, like, I'm guilty of being critical of people as well. And in the sense of, oh my gosh, why can't people just be good to one another? Why are you acting like that? Why are you going out and being mean to people? Right? But where's it coming from? I'm ticked off. Is that a good vibration to be in? No. And are those people just doing what they know to do? Yeah. Right? So let's drop the criticism that's often, there is no such thing, there's like a thing floating around. There's no such thing as constructive criticism. And I get criticism when I say that. But really, if you look at, constructive criticism, it's still coming from a place. And that's about programming too, because we're all programmed to be like, oh, well, if you're an adult and you're mature, you'll be able to take it. Just take it. Here, little girl, want some candy? That's kind of what it is. That kind of stuff it's pitting us against one another. It's making us poison one another. And then we're programmed to think that, well, if you were a better person, you'd be able to take it. When you give somebody constructive criticism, you're automatically coming from a place of, I'm right, you're wrong. It's right fighting, And you're coming from a place, obviously, maybe of agitation or self-centeredness or whatever else your ego is, throwing out there. And the other person, whether they can take it or not, I'm sure is going to feel a little, kind of off. Either they're going to feel sad about it or embarrassed or ashamed or maybe guilty or, whatever it is. But we're shooting these negative emotions at one another. Okay. So do we want to keep on with the programming or do we want to unplug? All right. That's what we're looking at. All right. So anything else on that, guys? Okay, I think we said pretty much what we need to say about that. So let me just get these cards out. I've cleared them already. Okay, this has happened so much. The cards keep shooting out. They keep shooting out. All right. But remember, this is not about fear. It's about freedom. So don't sit there and go, wait, what are you talking about, Michelle? There are these creepy beings that are like sticking a straw in me like I'm an orange and sucking all the juice out. It's about going, wait a minute, who's been eating all the cookies? Get your hand out of the cookie jar, and taking stuff back for you and just not allowing it. Because the second you don't allow it and you're aware of it, you can start taking action to make sure it doesn't happen. So let's do it. It's about the love. It is about the love. So switch the channel, guys. Switch it. All right, and I'm there with you. I'm learning about myself and realizing what I've been doing too. Wait. Okay, so we have Tanzanite, and the card is clarity, but it feels like there's two cards here. Well, I guess there's not. So there's the first one. I'll hold these up a little bit more here in just a second, but that's so funny that we're talking about all this and then clarity comes up, right? It's time for us to look at what's really going on. What is the truth of a situation? Right? Not what society has been telling us we should think or want or do. And if you're obsessed purely over, one surface area thing in your life, like, oh, I got to find a love partner, oh, my job, oh, my house, oh, this, oh, that, you're missing the point. And why do we obsess over things like that? Because we're told that that is the right thing to do. I have heard people tell me some very disturbing stories that really invoked a lot of sympathy out of me and even pity. And then there was a twist at the end that the person who was telling me the story didn't even catch. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. The person you're telling me about actually did a pretty bad thing. And here I was feeling sorry for them. Like, or, they act like, oh, this is going on in my life and this is going on in my life and this is going on in my life. And then you turn around and you realize, wait, you've got way more than most people do. What are you complaining about? Kind of thing. So that's the kind of stuff that we need to get clarity about. And that clarity comes from disconnecting from the programming, guys. I can't say it enough. So keep on with your clearing. Be careful who you're listening to. Interesting. All right, so like I said, we have the Tanzanite, which is clarity. We have Tiger's Eye, courage. And Tiger's Eye is also very protective, okay? So have the courage to look at what is. Have the courage to unplug. Don't be afraid. If you think, oh, my life's going to fall apart if I don't stay on top of it, or, oh, God, Michelle, I don't trust what you're saying. Like, if I do that, you know, then I'm a weirdo. I'm on the edge of society. Or whatever kind of thing that somebody might come up with, have the courage to take your power back as a human being. You are a powerful manifester. The human race is powerful at this, okay? And yet, that very free will that we're equipped with is what is being used to turn us against one another, to be at war with one another. So what do you want to create, guys? And don't take it on like, oh, I'm going to change the world. Try not to do that, because that's the feeling I'm getting with the messages that take it step by step. Work on you first, okay? And don't tell everybody else how they should live, right? No judgment. Let them be where they are. If they want your help, you can offer it, but don't go after people and preach at them and all of that, okay? Because again, it puts you in this like weird hierarchy kind of thing, and you know, it might even not even be the case. Like it might be one of your peers and you act like you're, you know, wiser than they are, but you know, you actually might invoke some negative emotion in them by trying to tell them how to live, right? So this is something that we're going to have to balance this out. It's going to be a little, you know, foggy here for a while, but we will get the clarity, have courage to look at it. Trust, pre-night, okay? Trust that what we're saying is true, and trust that you do need to take action steps, okay? Trust yourself too as you're going through here, and trust your heart. This is a green card, and we have another green card coming up. So make sure your heart is clear so that you can tune in and really listen to how to really respond to things. Like sometimes you don't even... Thank you. They're saying first focus on the feeling that it invokes within you. And then from there, you can trust your instincts that, okay, I'm not going to judge that person, but I can definitely feel that something negative is working through them. I've been there, okay? So, and I feel like that's probably why I had to go through that experience too, because I wouldn't have come to this wisdom point without that experience. I would have been going around telling everybody, oh, just stop being negative. Let it go. You know, be in touch with the angels. Everything will be fine, you know. But no, I had to, you know, get knocked down several times to learn how to get back up again so that I could come here and talk about it. And maybe you don't have to go through that. So the final card we have before we get on to these Archangel cards, we have Malachite, healing. So the healing isn't just about healing the physical body, although that's a big component of it. It's about healing the entire human species. It's about healing all of us, letting us get back into being these magnificent co-creators. Not being a food supply anymore for negative energies. Cutting them off. Because we can win this. We can win this. And it starts with you finding your joy. The more often you laugh, the happier you are, the more you're shielding yourself. This world won't look this way, you know, eventually. It will turn everything around. This won't be the first time that you hear me talk about this stuff, guys, so get ready. You know, and I understand if people want to unsubscribe. I don't think many of you would. But, you know, in the past couple of weeks, I've had some really kind of scary characters come at me. And it's just been overriding. But still, you can tell that they're trying, these, whatever you want to call them, I don't know what to call them, these forces are working through these people to be judgmental, egotistical, to give some constructive criticism. Don't say this, don't say that. Oh my gosh. And then when you set a boundary with them, they start attacking you and telling you that you're crazy, you know, all these things. And it's just a mechanism to throw you off. To throw you off your path, to throw you off from being the beautiful human that you are. But fear not, we can turn it around. Yay. Okay. Oh, there's the two cards. What? Okay. You ready for this? So the first card, these popped out together. Remember who you are, Archangel Michael. You are a powerful, loving, and creative child of God. You are very loved. We're not the wimps of the universe. We're not the bad kids of the universe. We might be in a scary place right now. But for those who are willing to do the work, we can turn this around. We can turn this around quickly. And I highly encourage you to do so. 2017 is a beautiful year, a beautiful energy to try to crack that open. And you might see things that are surprising. You might hear things that are like, what? That's the reality? Oh my gosh. Remember who you are. Okay. The other thing that kind of comes up with this card, and if you guys watch that episode that I was telling you about, they kind of touch upon this. You know, we are so conditioned to want to look up to something, right? Always thinking that we're not good enough. Somebody else has to be wiser than us to teach us, or we're not worthy. So we have to look up to someone, you know, who we deem to be on a pedestal. Yes. We have to be careful with that because that can get us into trouble. So anything that shows up and seems more intelligent than we are, we're going to bow down to it. Just think about that. All right. So the final card we have here is Gentleness, Archangel Sandalphon. So get yourself into attunement. Be very grounded. It's imperative. Okay? Don't go around like a little know-it-all. Oh, Michelle, I've been doing this for 30 years more than you have. Okay, cool. I'm with you. I don't doubt that you have a lot to share. But this is for you too. Okay? This is for you to stop and question. Because right now, there aren't many of us who have all the answers. I don't think there's any. Why I say it like that? There's none of us out there. There's not one person out there who has all the answers. Okay. Gentleness, Archangel Sandalphon. Be very gentle with yourself at this time. Surround yourself with gentle people, situations, and environments. So again, this is that sort of calming thing where, you know, something is showing up in your world and you're like, normally you might react in a very big way, but you're having to really take some time to just go, nope, I'm not going to engage. I'm not going to allow that to tear my energy down, or to basically, if we're thinking of your energy as a bubble, to tear a hole in the fabric of that, right? It lets all the air out for you, right? And it allows them to come in. Now, again, if that's scary to you, the more scared you are, the lower your frequency, the more susceptible you are. Be gentle with yourself. You are not powerless. Whatever we could say that you have going on in your world, you might be going through something really scary. But take that different perspective on it. Release the negativity. Okay? I think if I keep going, we're going to go on for another half hour. So I'm going to leave it there. I love you guys. I love you so much. Find some way to draw blessings into your life, right? Well, just ask the universe. Say, hey, can you send me a blessing a day? And then remain, very diligent about clearing and shielding your energies. Yeah, okay, so just as I said that, my battery went out and I had to go get another battery, but I'm back mostly just to say goodbye. So please do not let these messages freak you out. Again, it's about freedom. It's about realizing, hey, I don't have to live like this. Hey, every minute. And again, remember, your peace isn't about, you're right, Michelle, I don't have to take it anymore. I'm going to go stop my boss from treating me this way, or I'm going to go stop my kids from yelling at me, or it's not about the externals. It's not about stuff outside of you. It's really looking within and saying, okay, I see this for the test that it is, and I don't need to go there, right? So someone else's anger doesn't need to become mine. My happiness doesn't begin when I get that house, or when I get that job, or when I get the love partner that I want. It starts right here, right now, because I'm choosing it. Okay, without being in denial, but knowing that you can handle whatever comes your way and you can get that negativity out of you. You don't need to be a source for negativity to feed on you. Okay, so there it is. Signing off, and I'm sending you guys so much love. Take care.